Pretty girls and attractive men are actually lonely. Part 2. A lot of people will see a pretty girl or attractive man and assume that they are already in a relationship. They will assume if they see a pretty girl or attractive man alone, sitting alone, that it could be like a trap, like it's a hoax, like it's not real. There's no way this beautiful woman or this handsome man is actually single. It's often like hard for people to believe that you actually are single and you don't have what they want to call a roster or hoes. So initially it's hard for people to even believe that you are actually single and have no one, let alone them actually get to know you. So people are thinking in their head, I'm definitely not gonna approach this pretty girl. And as a man, if you approach, attractive man, if you approach women, they're thinking like, nah, you gotta be in a relationship. So the men won't approach the pretty girl because they think she's in a relationship. And when a handsome man approaches a girl, she may be thinking that you already have a girlfriend. Another reason why pretty girls and attractive men are actually lonely is because everyone thinks they have a roster. Everyone thinks, especially because of social media, that you already have a roster and already have a bunch of hoes in your life. And that's because of social media also. Especially if you attractive, like if you're a pretty girl and a handsome man and you have a following on social media, then forget about it. They definitely think you have hoes and you have options and you have a roster, but a lot of the times it's not even your fault. You're just posting and your pictures are going viral. People like your pictures, people follow you because they want to see you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's cool. But it does come with that assumption that everyone is going to think that you have hoes and a roster and that you're sexually active with multiple people. It just comes with the territory. So that's another reason why pretty girls and attractive men do actually be lonely, because people don't even take the time to try because they feel like you got everybody already. They believe you, as a pretty girl or an attractive man, already get a lot of attention. They believe your phone is never dry and people are always trying to talk to you and always trying to have sex with you. That's what people believe when you are a pretty girl or if you are a handsome man. That's just what people believe. And most of the time it's not like that because everybody is thinking the same thing. So nobody is really trying because they all thinking the same thing about you, that you already get a bunch of love. A lot of people are in your phone. A lot of people are trying to talk to you and be around you. That's what everybody thinks. So nobody actually does it because they feel like you have it already and they don't want to just be one of many, when most of the times in reality, pretty girls and attractive men be alone or lonely or to themselves or not really around people like that, and they really just be in their own world. Another thing is, believe it or not, a lot of pretty women and attractive men would rather be single by choice instead of dealing with drama and what comes with somebody trying to date you. Most people will be insecure about the way you look and the attention you grab men towards pretty women, and they know that comes with drama. They might be controlling, it's just a lot of drama, and they rather be single by choice. And the same thing for handsome men. A lot of women may be insecure and not like that you get a lot of comments and likes, or if you don't have social media, they don't like the attention that you pull and bring, and it could just make some people feel uncomfortable. So it's hard, so a lot of us stay single by choice. A lot of pretty girls, attractive men stay single by choice because we know it's gonna come with a lot of drama 9 times out of 10. It just sucks because as a pretty girl and an attractive man, a lot of us may be insecure or have a low self-esteem also. Just because we are what you would call attractive or pretty doesn't mean we always feel that way about ourselves. So people will assume and treat you like you're a narcissist when you're really just trying to be a kind person. And it sucks because you just want to connect with people and be nice and friendly to people, but they have a hard time believing that aura that you're giving because they feel like you should be stuck up or an asshole or you're gonna think you're better than everybody, when most of the time It's not like that. It's just the assumptions that come along with being a pretty girl or an attractive man. When you're a pretty girl or an attractive man, it sucks because people will create this false fantasy about you. They will like the idea of you and not actually who you are. And they will be so stuck and fixated on this idea of you that if you do anything outside of that idea, they just don't want you no more. Or they feel like you're a liar, which they don't even realize that they created their own version of you in their head based on how you look, instead of just getting to know you, being around you, experiencing your personality and your aura. They create this false reality and this fantasy in their head of what they feel like you should be or what they want you to be. And when you're not that, they don't want to talk to you no more. And as a pretty girl and attractive man, you're supposed to be trying to follow a script of what they feel like you are, but you don't even know what it is. Like, you expecting people to just get to know you for you, and you're not even realizing that this person has an idea of you. And when you don't meet their idea, they don't want you no more. They don't want to talk to you. But that's fine, because it just shows you that those people like the idea of you and not actually who you are as a person. They see that as a pretty girl and attractive man, you are human. Like, you have pain, you have trauma, you have heartbreak, you have things that you went through too, but then now you don't fit the fantasy. Now you're human, so they don't want to deal with you no more. But what they don't realize is, yes, you are human and you go through things just like everybody else. Just because you're a pretty girl or attractive man don't mean you don't have any issues or any problems in the world. Your life isn't just perfect just because you're a pretty girl or an attractive man. And people also have that assumption about you. And then when you complain about anything, especially about being attractive, people, like, they don't like when you do it, or they get uncomfortable about it, or they get mad about it, or they just simply don't understand because they feel like, oh, you look good, what do you have to complain about? But you're also human too. And it's hard because as a pretty girl and attractive man, you want to talk to people about it, but you really can't, because they would just think that you're vain or you're full of yourself. And it's hard to just like talk to people about, so you end up being alone. You end up being lonely. I find that most pretty girls and most attractive men are actually like introverted and quiet. I think people are put off by pretty girls and attractive men, so it just makes you introverted because people are hateful and envious towards you for no reason. You can literally just be a pretty girl or an attractive man and just be alone into yourself, and people will stare at you and create their own narrative about you without even speaking a word to you. And it just sucks, and it ends up making you lonely as a pretty girl and attractive man. And it just sucks because you'll be trying to get to know people, you will want to get to know people, but you will be trying to get to know them, but at the same time battling the narrative that they made about you, battling this person that they think you are in their head. Like, as a pretty girl and attractive man, you can be trying to get to know someone, and they have this idea in their head that you have a roster, you have so many people that you're talking to, you have hoes, so it'll make it harder when y'all not around each other, or when you don't text back, you don't call back. They're thinking, oh, this person's really attractive. They probably messing with another person. They're probably on the phone with somebody else, texting somebody else. They're probably around somebody else. Or to the extreme, you're probably having sex with somebody else. It's just hard when you are a pretty girl or an attractive man, because it comes with a lot of assumptions when you're trying to date. Another thing that can make it hard for a pretty girl or an attractive man is our idea of people. Being that we get those same kind of people all the time, people who make these assumptions about us, it's kind of hard for us to view people more than just that. Like, you know, we will feel like, damn, everybody's gonna judge us and create this narrative and have this fantasy and only like the idea, because like that's what we attract, not even on purpose, just because you look good. Like, you'll attract a lot of people who just like the idea of you, who are just lustful towards you, who are willing to break their happy home to have sex with you or be around you. And it's like we get a bad idea of most people because we attract a lot of those people just because you're a pretty girl or an attractive man. It'll almost ruin a little bit our idea of people, because we meet a lot of those type of people that are lustful, only trying to have you for your body, judging you, thinking you got a bunch of hoes or a roster, or you having sex with a bunch of people. it'd be hard to believe in anything other than that, because we attract that so much. Always get that same kind of vibe from people majority of the time, and it's rare we meet somebody that really take the time to get to know us, and not only just want to have sex, and not only just want to like use you as a trophy or as something that looks good on their arm, or like something to brag about. And it's just hard meeting people like that when you're a pretty girl and an attractive man. As a pretty girl and an attractive man, we can make people feel like they can't win us over, and it's not our fault. Some people are just insecure, and they will feel like there's no way they can get this handsome man or this pretty girl, and they will tell themselves this in their head and feel like you may be too good for them, or you are out of their league. But in reality, you just want to connect with people. It really makes most people hesitate and back away from you because they feel like they can't win you over. They can't get you to be faithful or get you to love them, because they feel like you're just so attractive or you're so pretty. People's subconscious allows them to like things that are beautiful and admire them from far away, but not really ever try to get that thing, because they may feel like it's impossible. Like, kind of like their favorite celebrity. They could feel like, yeah, this celebrity is amazing, it's this and that, but you tell them that they can get that celebrity, they're like, nah, it's no way. It's no way that's possible. People put you on a very high pedestal when you're a pretty girl, an attractive man, but it doesn't really benefit you, because they could just feel like it's impossible to get you or to be with you, to be around you, get you to be faithful or love them. When most people see a pretty girl or an attractive man, they will often take like a second look. But once they take another second look and they think for a second, they will tell themselves, this beautiful woman or this attractive man, there's no way I can get this person. There's no way they're gonna talk to me or even be nice to me or want me. They will often think like, how could this pretty girl be interested in me? They will think like, how can this handsome man be interested in me? And it's really just people's own insecurities and have nothing to do with you. Even if people are interested, a lot of people don't have the courage to speak to a pretty girl or an attractive man, although I know everyone feel like men should do the approaching. But even when you do approach as an attractive man, like I said, you got to deal with all of those assumptions. And the truth is, a lot of people just don't have the confidence to have a long-lasting relationship with a pretty girl or an attractive man, so it just makes it hard to date. So all of that is what often leads most pretty girls and attractive men to being lonely and to being single for a long period of time.